Hey you guys, I'm back with another video, and this is my yummy buttermilk yeast rolls, you guys. Oh my god, this yeast rolls will have your whole family thanking you and wishing that you would make these every day of their lives. Like when you make these at home, if anybody sleep, they gonna wake right up when you make these. Trust and believe, because I had it happen to me before. So let's get into this video. It is quite a little bit lengthy, but this is what it takes to make these yeast rolls, and you are going to thank me once you make them. So let's first activate the yeast. What we're going to do is we're going to take some warm water, and I have all the ingredients to my recipe listed at my blog spot, so check me out over there if you need the direct recipe. You use some warm water, you use some yeast and a tablespoon of salt, sugar, and then you let the water and the yeast and the sugar do its thing to activate that yeast. Now what I typically do is I set my bowl in the middle of my oven, because my oven is I used it earlier so it was still warm, and that helped to activate a little bit more quicker. I let it just sit in a cool dark area, which is on top of my stove, for 30 minutes, and then voila, you see the yeast has activated and became bubbly and foamy and all that. Once that happened, then I took that and put it into my stand mixer. I then threw in the rest of the wet ingredients, which is my buttermilk, which is why it's called buttermilk yeast rolls. And after that, I threw in my butter. Now, one thing that I forgot to actually add, which I added later, is some more water. You do want to add some more water to it, so I added another 1/4 cup of warm water to the wet mixture. And then after I threw all the wet ingredients in there, now it's time to throw the dry ingredients in there, which is your sugar, your salt, and your flour. And then we're going to just take our handheld stand mixer, or our stand mixer, and we're going to mix it all together. I took half of the flour first, and then after that was mixed, I went in and put in the other half of the flour, making sure that you scrape all the sides down, because you want to make sure that all the flour is incorporated into that batter. Once you then mix everything, and once the actual dough begins to pull apart, as you can see, then you're done. You just take it, and then we're going to cover it with I covered it with a towel, and I set it on top of my stove and let it proof for 30 minutes. You want it to expand and for that yeast to help the dough grow. So once you see it expand 30 minutes, then I punched a hole in it, and now it's time to knead the dough. So you're going to take the dough out of the bowl, you're going to flour your surface, and then you're going to start kneading your dough. At first the dough is sticky, so you're probably thinking to yourself like, Saber, this is totally wrong. No, you're doing it right. Trust me, just trust me, okay? So you want to just keep kneading. You may have to throw some more flour in there because it's going to be sticky at first, and that's totally okay. Just keep kneading the dough until it begins to work with you, until it stops being sticky, it starts being more smooth, and you see, as you can see in this video, it's starting to work with me. So I don't need any more flour to add to it. I'm just going to keep kneading it. I say at least knead it for a good 5 to 7 minutes, and you're done. After that, after we then knead the dough, now we are going to start pulling the dough apart and making our small rolls. And I'm going to add it to a cast iron buttered skillet. I love cooking in my cast iron skillet, and it's just a nice way to display your food. I just think it just makes your roll look so much better in this cast iron skillet. It really makes it look like you're legit. So we're gonna knead the dough. I altogether made about 12 rolls, and they are stuck together, and that's totally fine, because once they're done, they're gonna actually be able to pull apart. So you want to make enough rolls for it to be 12. Now this is depending on you. You can make them smaller if you want, or the same size like I made, which I got 12. Voila. Once they're done, then you're going to take a towel and you're going to cover it again and let it sit for another 30 minutes so that it can proof and the yeast start to activate again into the dough. But before you do that, you want to add your butter, you guys. You got to add your butter. Your butter makes everything better. So we're going to add our butter into our dough. And then, like I said, cover it up with the towel, which is what I did. And I let it proof, and boom, it got bigger. So once it starts to get bigger and everything looks all clumped together, then you're good. And now it's time to put it into your oven and let it do its thing. I typically find out, I know when my dough or when my rolls are ready, they'll begin to brown on the outside, and all you have to do, which is the old school way, take a toothpick, insert it in the middle. If it comes out clean, you're done. Now, if it comes out with still that the dough sticking to the toothpick, then they're still not done yet. You want to make sure that you cook the dough from the inside on out. And then after I did that, I just put some more butter on there. But this was unsalted butter, so if you're trying to watch your salt intake, you can get the unsalted butter, although I wish I did use salted butter. But anyways, nonetheless, I buttered my rolls. And now it's time to use my marmalade rosemary sauce. Oh my god, this thing was so good. I wish I made more just as a dipping sauce on the side. You guys will absolutely love this recipe. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to check me out on my blog spot, saberscooking.blogspot.com. Love you all. Love and good eats. Bye.